Hi, everybody. Welcome to Stop Being Sold, a community of informed consumers who are sick and tired of being sold financial products they don't understand or need. So if you're tired of being a transaction, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell so you never miss another video from us. And while you're at it, if you like the content of this video, we would appreciate you supporting the channel and giving us that like button, that thumbs up sign. Hit that, please. Gently press it, whatever you have to do. We'd appreciate it. All right. So how are you today, Brian?
Hey, doing great, Michelle. How about yourself?
Fantastic. Today, we're going to talk about something that very few people do, but it's quite important. If you have a 401k, we're going to be talking, this is for you. We're talking about rebalancing your 401k specifically. Is it time? How do you know it's time? What is rebalancing? We're going to dive into that. And like I said at the beginning, the studies show 80% of 401k investors fail to rebalance. And that can often, since like opening, right? You open an account. So Brian, let's just stop. We'll go into what the definition of rebalancing is in a minute, but what's the detriment to leaving a 401k setting and forgetting it?
Most people are taught to set it and forget it.
Sure.
Especially with today, you got automatic enrollment into a 401k, and that passed a few years ago. And people go into these 401ks and it's like, they think the company's doing it for them. No, the company set it up for you, and that's the issue. So rebalancing is very important, and it makes sense. But honestly, studies still show 80% of the people have not rebalanced their 401k or even touched it since they first opened the account. So this is your retirement. And I guess the biggest thing I have to say is, look, you got one chance at a secure retirement. Okay. The majority of us in the United States no longer have a guaranteed pension. Social Security is iffy. It's a maybe. So just remember that this is your chance. Get engaged with your 401k. Please understand it. You got questions? Add them to the bottom of this video. Send them to us. We'll make you a video teaching you what to do inside of your 401k. So stay tuned to the channel just for that. But if you got questions about your 401k, drop them in this video.
Yeah. So let's back it up. What is rebalancing technically? Like the actual definition.
Okay, the actual definition is rebalancing is the process of realigning the weightings of the assets, your investments, in your portfolio to stay in line with your risk tolerance and your timeline for retirement.
So that means you'll have to periodically buy and sell in order to make sure that you're maintaining that desired exposure to, is that what you would say? Your desired exposure to risk or?
Yes. And having, okay, so think about this. Let's say you were a moderate investor. And Michelle, you went in and you wanted a nice even split of your investments, 50% stocks, 50%
bonds. Mm-hmm.
And that was your key objective. But now, for example, the market's been going up for several years, right? Let's say now your stocks are 75% and your bond rating has been reduced to 25%. You open your portfolio and all of a sudden you see that pie chart, and the pie chart says, Michelle, you're 75% stocks today,
right,
and 25% bonds, and you're freaking out. It's like, what should I do? How do I get back to that? That's what rebalancing is. So in order to get back to that initial 50-50 weighting, you would need to sell some of the stocks and purchase more bonds.
Okay. That's pretty much it. It's making sure, but it really is all based on your specific risk tolerance.
It's about you.
It's on you, right? Your goal, your goals, and how much risk you want.
You're exactly right. And normally, Michelle, here's what's recommended. A lot of financial planners recommend you rebalance at least once a year and no more than 4 times a year. Because if you're rebalancing more than 4 times a year, you're not rebalancing, you're day trading. It's that simple. Okay.
Got it.
So one easy way to do is pick that day of the year or the day each quarter that you're going to make that day your day to rebalance it. And a good time to do that is when you get your statements, which usually come on a quarterly basis. Take a look at them. Like we're coming up the end of the year now, Michelle. So January, you'll get your January statement. That would be a great time to look at it and see what your weightings are and have they changed. So,
okay. So let's just face it. Most people we know from the data, from just talking to people, most people are not opening their statements. So my question I was going to ask you is, hey, how do you know when it's time to rebalance? But that would actually require someone to look at their statement.
You got to look at it. You
have to look at it constantly, because even just say you are an engaged investor. I'm an engaged investor watching this. Mm-hmm. You know, I would know when the distribution of assets is too high or too low, right? Because you're paying attention. Right. But for the average person who's not, is the first step. Let's start. What's the first step? Read the statement. Open the statement.
Open the statement. Letter opener. Open the statement. So once the statement's open, look at that front page, because that front page has it all. It will truly explain to you what you have, where it's at, and what kind of returns you've actually got in the portfolio in the last 12 months. So
what does it say that alerts you to what it is? Does it say asset allocations or what?
Yeah, you'll see it depending on the statement, Michelle, depending on the company, because each one's a little bit different. So asset allocation, your portfolio mix, you'll see that in some of them. I know like the Southwest Airlines, I believe theirs says your portfolio mix. Some of the Fidelity accounts says your asset allocation or your portfolio allocation. So you'll see a lot of different ones, just depending on what it is. But so look for your allocation, your portfolio balance, how it's split up, your investment mix. So keep using them terms, and that will help you determine where you're at. But the key, if you're a visual learner, look for that pie chart. That pie chart shows where it's split up at. And then that way you'll be able to tell. But one thing I want to say on this, Michelle, this is where you really want to work with a fiduciary that truly understands the 401k plan, because rebalancing is good to a point. And what I mean by that is, think about this. If all you're doing is trying to get a rebalancing, the goal of rebalancing is to get you back to that original mix that you chose, right? Okay.
Right, but what if you're selling something you shouldn't be selling at that time?
You're exactly right. That's where I wanted to go with this.
Yeah.
Well, think about this. We've done some videos here recently talking about the rise in interest rates that we might start to see in 2022, right? Okay, so if you're selling equities to get back to your original portfolio of 50% stocks, 50% bonds, aren't you selling what's working and buying what's not?
What's not working, exactly.
And that might work against you in the future years as we go into a rising interest rate environment. So here's truly, and we go back to one of the first statements you said in this video, Michelle, 80% of the people aren't doing it. Studies have shown it. Why aren't they doing it? Because it's confusing to the average person. You truly need a professional to help you go through this. And that's what our fiduciaries do. So,
so it's important. I mean, rebalancing is important, but it's not something that no matter what, you show up every quarter and you do it, or once a year you do it. It's really about, if I'm hearing you correctly, understanding what rebalancing is, knowing what you have, what mix you want, and then really, I mean, working with a fiduciary, someone who really, really understands that, where you can say, is this a good time? I don't want to be, why would you sell something that's working and buy something that's not? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. There's no common sense to it. So again, work with a professional that truly understands this. But our goal with the videos today is ask you, is it time to rebalance? Our goal is to get you to open that statement and get engaged with what will be, I guarantee you, for 90% of the people across the United States, this will be your largest asset that you will ever own.
Right. Get engaged with it. It's your money. And so you said it earlier, with Social Security on a really unstable ground and pensions all but gone, this is what you have. This is all you have.
This is it. Not everybody's going to inherit $1 million from a family member that passes away. It's just not going to happen. Not everyone's going to hit the lottery. You've got an opportunity here with your 401k that will be your largest asset in life. Why not devote time and effort into finding a good fiduciary that will help you optimize this plan for you?
Perfect.
It's
All
your
right. If you
retirement.
like, absolutely. Absolutely it is. If you want more videos on retirement savings, we run the gamut here at Stop Being Sold. So I highly suggest you go to stopbeingsold.com, check that out. We've got some articles there. We also have a ton of videos here. And really our goal is just to help you become a more informed consumer. So if you like the content of this video, do check out our other videos, but also hit that like button and subscribe. So thank you,
Definitely.
Brian, for this. And thank you to everybody for watching.
Thanks, everyone.